Hey, what's up? It's Skippy. I'm back with the rest of my Chinese food. And it's time for Chinese food chat part 2. Alright. And like I I need to talk about this. Alright, and I also need to eat this delicious meal that I got from Panda Express for $5.48. 2-item combo meal. All because the Dodgers won. Mind you, I'm not a sports fan. I don't watch sports. But thank you, Dodgers, for winning. Because now I get cheap Chinese food. Thank you. Like, I never got into sports. I never, like, it's so dumb. You know, I watch it from the outside. I just watch everybody screaming at televisions. Bah! Screaming television! Bah! You know? But like I always say, it's a world of buyers and sellers, and sports fans are the buyers. But sports brought to you by beer and trucks. But these little onions are delicious. So, like I said at the end of the last video, I want to talk about something. Okay. Comedy. Okay, like, I love comedy. Alright? I love comedy. But it's like Chris Rock said about improv. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's awful. Unfortunately, that can be said about comedy right now. Comedy okay, from a comedian standpoint, right now, it's fucking shit. If you want to call it talent pool, there's a lot of floating turds in the talent pool. And it's time to call out some names. Yep. When I was working with Mitzi Shore, who is the owner of the Comedy Store, she used to have me host the potluck open mic at the Comedy Store. I did it for 5 years. That's how good I was. Not trying to float my own tugboat. I only paid $25 a night. That I got taxed twice on. But anyhow, she told me something. She told me, never encourage bad comedians. I took that as an order. Okay? So, I was hosting the potluck open mic at the Comedy Store. Mitzi said, do not encourage bad comedians. She knew what she was talking about. That's why a lot of great names came out of the Comedy Store. Now, I would remember this one time. This one young comic came up to me. She asked me, if you have any room, can I get some stage time? And I looked at her and I said no. And she asked me why. And I told her, because you're awful and I don't want to waste the audience's time. Okay? And the look on her face was priceless. Like, how dare you say that to me? But here's the thing. That's how you become a great comedian. That's... excuse me. I do great comedy because my mom told me. I overheard a conversation she was having with her friend. She said to her friend over the phone, you should have seen Eric at the... That's my real name, Eric. Shh, don't tell anybody. You should have seen him at the Comedy Store last night. The Funny Bone. Sorry, it's back in Pittsburgh. You should have seen him at the Funny Bone last night. He was awful. He was the worst out of all of them. And you know what? She wasn't wrong. That lit the biggest fire under my ass. And I was like, you know what? I'll show you who's funny. And I did. Years later, a couple years later, she comes to the Comedy Store with my dad. And I told one of the greatest jokes on earth that I pulled out of my ass at the moment, which I won't repeat right now. But anyhow, it was amazing to a point where I had another fellow comedian, Eddie Griffin, stop me at a gas station to tell me how funny I was in front of my mom. And so it just felt good to, you know, have her eat her own words. And it was a packed audience. It was a 3-day weekend. So that was nice. So yeah, along with not, you know, do not, you know, encourage bad comedians, we need to talk right now. And I want to talk about how Joe Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe have single-handedly polluted to a point of just hideousness the comedy everything. Like, the business model of a stand-up comedian now fucking sucks thanks to Rogan. You gotta have a podcast. You gotta, you know, be popular on social media. Talent doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just, you know, how many social media followers you have. It sucks. I got a buddy up at the Comedy Store. I've known him for 20 plus years. And he's still working the door there because he doesn't have enough followers on Instagram. It fucking sucks. He's incredibly funny, too. And I'm watching all these other shitty comedians get past. You know, it just sucks, man. But whatever. But Rogan, you need to close your comedy club because you're not Mitzi Shore, bro. You want to be Mitzi Shore, but you ain't no Mitzi Shore, bro. You have no eye for talent, okay? Zero. That Brendan Schaub guy, there you go. When Cat Williams called you out, he wasn't wrong, dude. You promote shitty fucking comedians. Whack-ass hack jobs, bro. BBCs, you basic bitch comedians. You know? Don't. Just stop. Stop polluting the waters. You know, stop having these hacks on your freaking show. You know, it's the one thing. Like, I didn't watch. I don't watch Rogan. Mind you, I think he has like. He has a girl voice to me. Like, his voice sounds effeminate. That's why I never like watching him at the Comedy Store. And he yells everything. You know? Like, I watch bits and pieces of his last special on other people's, like, you know, reaction videos and stuff. And first off, he shouldn't have called it Burn the Boats. He should have called that Viking Funeral, because that's what that comedy special was. That was the death of stand-up comedy live on Netflix. That what you were watching, all right, what I saw or what I witnessed is somebody who's too big for their britches. Joe Rogan wants to be a vicious pit bull, but he's a Jack Russell Terrier. Small dogs bark a lot. His ego, his narcissism got so out of hand that he had to go and do a live comedy special. He had to show the whole world that he's lactating. Like, for a guy who's so, you know, anti-women in sports, dude, you were lactating on your freaking comedy special. What's up, dude? And he keeps putting all these horrible people, horrible comedians. You know, I will tell you what. Okay, there's a couple comedians that are great. I'm not going to say their names or anything. But the other one's just garbage. Joe Rogan is a garbage collector. He's a garbage man. But there's an even bigger garbage man out there. We're going to talk about him after I eat this. You know what? This piece deserves some scorched red pepper. That's right, some scorched red pepper. We're going to put some scorched red pepper. Get that scorched red pepper. Put the scorched red pepper. Why won't you sit on top? I'm trying to get it to... You can't see. There we go. Wearing it like a crown. And now it's going to go down and turn into brown. Here we go. Oh, that's going to be spicy coming out. Oh, wow. I love the smoky, hot flavor from that pepper. All right. Let's talk about the bigger garbage man. Tony Hinchcliffe. Mind you, unlike Rogan, I like Tony. Alright? Rogan and I butted skulls for many years at the Comedy Store. Tony and I have worked together for many years. I have pictures of Tony and myself eating at the original Heart Attack Grill in Glendale, Arizona, with the former guitarist from the band Warzone. That's right. I know people, motherfucker. I just told you about me meeting Angelo Moore from Fishbone in the last video. I know people, all right? But anyhow, Tony, I love you as a person. Your comedy, okay, it's conservative. Conservative is just another word for shitty. I'm sorry to say. Like, conservative politics are shitty politics. Conservative values, shitty values. And conservative comedy is shitty comedy. And you fall into that category. I'm sorry, buddy, but you do basic bitch humor. And mind you, okay, like... Tony, I'm angry at you. Because you've put so many fucking turds in the toilet that we can't flush it now. Alright? Like, the killtony thing, I am happy for you. Okay? The fact that you took it from the belly room to Madison Square Garden is absolutely incredible. Not gonna lie. I'm not a hater. Alright? I'm not a hater. I wish you continued success. But the garbage you're putting on the internet, like, stop. All you did was you took the tryouts for American Idol and made it every week. That's what you did. Okay? And Brian Redban is not funny ever and never fucking will be. Flat out. I want to let you know, okay? Brian Redban, we used to use, we call them barometers. Okay? He was a barometer. There was a guy who used to perform at the Comedy Store. His name was Fat James. Never going to believe this. He was fat. All right? He was our barometer during the, like, potluck open mic. And what I mean by that is Fat James, horrible hack comedian. All right? If he did good on stage, everybody else was going to do bad. It's just like some weird bizarro thing. Brian Redban is the same thing. Okay? If he did good, if he got laughs, everybody else would do shitty. Don't know how it works. Just, it's his Ralph Wiggum moment. But anyway, Redban, fuck you. With that being said, I didn't. I started going back to the Comedy Store. I never watched Killtony, and I started going back in 2018. There was this guy named William Montgomery, I think, and I almost had to beat the crap out of him. I was like, what the fuck is this psychopath? Why is he out in the fucking sacred area smoking? I was like, get the fuck out of here, you open micer. That's all Killtony does. He amplifies awful. You don't need to amplify. Actually, it's kind of funny. I actually came up with the idea for Killtony many years before I have an email to prove it, but whatever. Don't matter. He did it. He did it successfully. I can't win with comedians. I love comedy. I fucking hate comedians. They fucking hate me, and I'm fine with it. Okay? I realize that I'm the villain, and I'm going to have to call you bitches out because you're all just a bunch of cunts. But, yeah. Tony, listen, dude. Listen, just quit glorifying garbage. That's the problem with America. We make stupid people famous. But, so yeah, I'm putting it on Rogan and Hinchcliffe as to why comedy is so fucking crap today. But see, the difference between me and a lot of other comics is I actually write jokes. Like, I want people to retell my jokes. That's why I make them short and sweet. I want my jokes to enter the zeitgeist like a knock joke. You don't know who the author is. My jokes are street jokes. I'm a lady of the streets, baby. But what was I going to say? It's something poignant. But Yeah, Rogan glorifying awful. He had that. He had that really. What's that shitty comedian's name on he had? I saw like a clip of it. He had like. This guy's like, talk about glorifying awful. Like, he had this comedian on named Donald Trump. And like, he's having like these, he's having like a greatest hits tour where he's like telling the same jokes and they're not funny anymore. He's got his core audience of idiots that think he's like, the greatest thing since, the hat they're wearing. But yeah, stop glorifying horrible comedians like Donald Trump. That guy's not funny. That guy sucks. Like I understand why, people didn't like Dice during the 90s. But yeah, Donald Trump, his act is so tired, dude. But yeah, put it. Yeah, Rogan, do me a favor. Rogan, just do me a favor. Just stop doing everything. You're awful. And Tony, stop promoting awful. Don't have Rogan on your show. But yeah, so I don't know. Me and Rogan had our beef. It just makes me angry that there's no good comedians. Like there's a handful here and there. Like I love the fact that like okay, you're a great example. David Lucas. All right? David Lucas versus Harlan Williams. David Lucas, okay, is a creation of the Killtony universe. Like, the guy, he fucking sucks. Harlan Williams handed that dude his ass and showed him how unfunny he was. My problem is, like, Harlan has been funny forever. That guy's an absolute genius comedian. And yet he doesn't get the popularity or the kudos that he deserves. It sucks, man. I love Harlan Williams. But like that, It's like Killtony glorifying this poop emoji. It's fucking awful. But that's just it, That's how humans work. It's like people who watch sports being so critical of the people on the field, yet your fat ass is eating nachos and drinking a beer. Those comedians, they get up on stage and they have 1 minute to prove themselves. First off, it's not enough time. But just glorifies horrible. But I had a conversation with Ari Shaffir a long time ago. He said it the best and then proved it with back-to-back Netflix specials. He said Hollywood rewards mediocrity. So true. If that's what you want, America, that's what you get. See, part of the reason why I'm coming back, kind of a strategy. When I was growing up, I was the worst skater, skateboarding. I was so awful that if you skated with me, you just looked better just by being there. And like, that's how I look at comedy now. Like, I'm good at it. Everybody else sucks. I'm just going to look better just by being there. By the way, for $5.48, this was a fantastic meal and a deal. So yeah, Rogan. Rogan, just stop everything. You're awful. You're a horrible stand-up comedian who promotes other horrible stand-up comedians. Brendan Schaub is unforgivable, and the fact that you stole a joke off of Brendan Schaub for your special. Okay. That was the one thing I wanted to say. Okay? Like, mind you, I called out Carlos Mencia for stealing jokes. He did. He's a joke thief. He stole one of Brian Holtzman's jokes no more than 10 minutes after he stole it. He took it. He told it to me. Like, I didn't watch Holtzman go up there and tell the freaking joke. I'm like, hey, do me a favor. Look me in the eyes. Sorry, it's spicy, and I gotta, you know, you get like this boogers that are like tears. They're like slowly creeping down your nasal cavity. That's what that was. And I use the Joe Durrell twist method when it comes to cleaning out my nostrils sometimes. That's what you saw. Joe Durrell was this dude. He was 16 years old, and he was a lifeguard at the pool where we were staying in Wildwood, New Jersey. And he and I went out and bought skateboards. He was there when I got the nickname Skippy. And Joe's a good dude. Here's to you, Joe. Now back to the Joe and his Joe-mosexuals. Here's one thing that gets me about Joe Rogan. You know, he's all up in arms about Carlos, and like I said, I called out Carlos. You know, Carlos, I'm gonna say this right now, okay? Like, Rogan hated Carlos because Carlos could command an audience way better than Rogan ever could. I saw a night at the Comedy Store where Andrew Dice Clay went up to a packed room, destroyed. Chris Rock went up after him, annihilated. And then this is the first time I ever saw Carlos Mencia ever, because I don't own a TV or anything. First time I saw Carlos Mencia, I saw him go up and make Andrew Dice Clay and Chris Rock look like open micers. Like, it was incredible. So, if anything, Rogan was just jealous of Mencia's talent. But the thing is, like, yeah, Mencia stole jokes, but he told them better. But that's not justification. I don't care. You guys can steal my jokes. They weren't mine to begin with. I just created them. They're for society to have. So, I'm not territorial. I'm not going to be pissing on any of my jokes. If you want to tell it to your friends, tell it to your friends. If you want to go on stage and tell it, go on stage and tell it. It just tells me how great my jokes are. Alright? I like that. That's all I need. But here's one thing that pissed me off about Rogan. Okay, hypocrite. Hey, he steals Brendan Schaub's joke. Tells it on his special. You know, I saw these like reaction video dudes talking about it. I'm like, they're all calling him out. You know, hypocritical. But here's the thing too. So, I don't know if he called out Amy Schumer when she was on his show for joke thievery. I don't know. But there are videos dedicated to her stealing jokes, okay? So he had Quentin Tarantino on his show a long time ago. When back in the 90s, there was a Russ Meyer Film Festival. Russ Meyer was the director of this movie called Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, which is phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, please do. And Russ liked big-titted women. He also made this movie called Up that had a character that was in bondage gear, head to toe. And Russ Meyer flat out told me that Quentin Tarantino stole the character of the Gimp from the movie Up. So, Tarantino is a known, okay, he steals from other, movies. And he was on Tarantino's show. And then he also had Kanye West on. Okay? Kanye West, if I'm not mistaken, stole from a blind man by the name of Ray Charles and made some horrible gold digger song that I can't stand. So, Kanye steals, Schumer steals, Tarantino steals. But it's okay, right? I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay to, steal it, but it's just like Banksy says, He says, good artists or something, great artists steal. I don't know. Good artists create, great artists steal. I'm a creator, but people can steal my shit. I don't care. Whatever. I just want people to be happy. But all I'm saying is, kind of hypocritical to call out one without calling out the others, Rogan. And now you get a chance to look in the mirror and call out yourself. Comedy cop. That's what we used to call you behind your back at the Comedy Store. We also used to call you White Eddie Griffin because both you and Eddie used to steal everybody's stage time. And you both drove the same vehicles, Acura NSXs. You had a Denali, he had an Escalade. We made fun of you behind your back. Hey, I'm sorry you had to hear about this, Rogan. So I'm God. Actually, not sorry. You're a dick. Whatever. That was good food. Thank you, Panda Express. Thank you, Dodgers, for winning. Fuck you, Rogan and Tony. Stop promoting shitty comedians. Just stop it. I get it. It's a novelty act, but fidget spinners are a novelty too. Hopefully this novelty will go away. I'm really hoping that all this shitty comedy will mean the good comedians will get a chance. I would really love it if Wendy Liebman could come back. She's amazing. Anyhow, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening. You guys are great. Have a great night. Bye.